Good Monday morning, everybody. September the 16th. I am so excited about our guest today, Claudienne Hibbert-Smith. Um, I was so inspired reading your bio this morning. I can't do it justice. I'm not even going to try. Just going to hit a few highlights, though. Claudienne has been among top people academically in her high school. She was vice president of her high school. She's got her bachelor's degrees from University of Florida. She's been a real estate professional for about 22 years. Yeah, I saw the choppers there. Um, 2 years with the XP. She was 20 years with one firm prior to, and in 2 short years, she's built an organization in 19 states, over 300 agents. Just super, super impressive. She's got various educational and real estate industry credentials. I'm going to let her get into all that. On top of all that, her and her husband Mario own and operate a K through 12 all boys school in her area. She's got a 501c3 nonprofit called Claudie Cares Foundation. I'm just so inspired. Claudienne, thank you so much for being here today. We're blessed to have you. And I'd like you to just start out by introducing yourself, tell that great story that I read about, and take as much time as you would like, and then we'll get into, sorry, I got to mute some people here. And then we'll get into some Q&A, all right? We're looking forward to what you've got to say to us this morning. So welcome, and again, thank you.
Hi, everybody. Hi. First of all, you guys are champions because you're already in this space. You know, every morning from 9 to 9:30 a.m., I talk about, I host a wake up and win call. And we just talk about wins in real estate. And one of the things is that you should be in the right room at the right time. And right now you're in the right room at the right time. I don't know where the other 20, 40 people are, but we're not even going to concern ourselves with that. We're going to focus on what's right here in front of us right now. Where do you want me? Where do we go from here? Tell me.
Well, first of all, those other 20, they're just going to miss out. So I'm okay with that. They can catch the recording, but start with your background. You know, kind of go through your bio in the detail that you wrote it. It's very impressive. I didn't want to botch it up. So let's start with that.
Well, I'll tell you really quickly. At the age of 14, I gave birth to my son, Amari Bryan, who's now 30, doing very well. As you could probably imagine, people wrote me off that I wouldn't graduate from high school. Not only did I graduate at the top of my class, I went on to one of the Ivy League public schools, the University of Florida, chop. Go Gators. I don't even know if we won yesterday on Saturday or not. But any which way, I am a Gator. I got a 9-to-5 job with my health science degree. One of my 7th grade teachers, she was my math teacher, became my mentor later on. She bought a house when I was around 20 or 21. And I remember seeing the commissions on the HUD. We used to call it the HUD back then. I remember seeing the HUD 24 years ago. And I remember saying, now, how did this lady just make $40,000? Now, the one thing I did know how to do is add and subtract, and something was not mathing. And so 2 days later, I quit my job because I said it took me a whole year from 8 to 5. I am a single mom. I had a son very young. Nothing really changed. I was broken. I had food stamps. Yikes, I have food stamps, Medicaid, you name it. I just found the Medicaid card from when I was a teen. WIC, food stamps. I was on government assistance. And it was just my story. And I knew I would be successful. I want y'all to write this down. I know that I am going to be successful. I don't care if you're successful now. I'm successful now, but I still have another level of success to gain. And I knew it would be successful. I just didn't know in what. So when I saw that, I quit my job 2 days later. I'm one of those people. I don't know if I have any me's on here, but I do something and think about it later, figure it out later. Yeah, I quit my job. I had no idea how to get my license, but I knew how to go and get an education. So whatever it was going to take, I was going to do, because if she could make $40,000 in 2 months, I could definitely do that. You can give me a bottle of ketchup and I'm going to be number one. So now I quit my job, and in Florida, I realized I only have to spend 63 hours. Well, I'm going to just do this in 1 week. I had no job. I take my last paycheck and take the class. I failed the exam twice. I live in Miami. I'm 21. I'm still partying, party life. And I go to Dallas where my mentor is living now. The same mentor is living. And I buckled down for a week and I passed the test. I became the rookie of the year. So I stayed with one company for 20 years. Really just maneuvered my way, top 10 of 4,000 agents in a white male dominated market at the time. And then Elena Cardone teams called, well, actually Grant's team called me and said, we want to see you on the real estate webinar. And I'm like, who tells Grant no? So I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And so I did that. And then they, you know, they probably more than likely 1000% was recruiting me without recruiting me. So they invited me, and this is all a training, guys. So I'm telling you the story not to tell you about me, but maybe you need to start the podcast. Maybe you need to start the show, because I wasn't going to tell Grant no. I knew his audience. I had already been to 10X GrowthCon years prior to. I knew that one day I would speak on his stage. In fact, I'm going to share my screen for a minute. Can you allow me capabilities? Thank you. And so now, guys, can you see my Instagram page? Can you see the page? Just looks like it's going to Instagram. And I'll show you this. I didn't plan on doing this, but I'm going to do it because I like to tell stories and I like to show social proof. So you can follow me, one, but that's not why I'm here. I'm going to show you this video.
What's your name? My name's Claudienne, and I'm trying to be a person. Okay.
My name is Claudienne Hibbert, and I just want to be a person. Those were the very words that I uttered out of my mouth at 11 years old. But by the time I was 13, I was already deemed a menace to society. I gave birth to my son at 14, and I remember being in the club pregnant, no ride home. I get in the car with this stranger. I think I'm going home. I fall asleep, and I'm now fighting for my life as he's trying to haul me into a whorehouse. I see crackheads coming in and out. Then I now at 15 have a criminal record because I wanted to date the drug boy, the wheeler and the dealer. And now I'm about to be put out of high school. And that's where things took a change. I thought to myself, here I am, a single mom on welfare, government assistance, and with a criminal record. There has to be a change. And I remember that person I wanted to be. I graduated from high school and the University of Florida. And just like many of you, I hit the American dream. I got the J-O-B. That's right, just over broke. I was taking a paycheck and literally paying bills that were 3 months behind. But I saw a realtor make $40,000, guys, in 2 months. And I said, wait a minute, I don't know how to add and subtract. Something ain't adding up because I take a whole year to do that. I quit my job 2 days later, and the rest is history. I committed and I figured the rest out later. I became the real estate agent rookie of the year. I remember being in those seats in the back, working my way to the front row, and now I'm on the stage. I am Claudienne Hibbert. I am a person. And if I can do it, you can do it too.
So I show you that to show you that was me speaking on a 10X GrowthCon stage in front of over 6,000 people, 150,000 people online. And I also got to speak to the online audience. And so maybe you need to create the table. And guys, you're gonna see some people popping in here. I just actually invited my team because I double booked. I should be coaching them, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and add them into this Zoom if you don't mind. And so that's where I was, guys. That's where I was. I quit my job. I became a realtor. I became successful at it. I knocked on doors. I made my first listing appointment. Some of you may or may not know what Star Island is at the time. Maybe the least expensive house was about $9 million. Today, the least expensive house is about $40 million. That was my first listing that I got an appointment for when I was cold calling. So if you ask me if I believe in cold calling, the answer is yes. If you ask me if I believe in social media, you see I have almost 230,000 followers. The answer is yes. If you think I believe in door knocking, then the answer is yes. I believe that the answer is yes to whatever you're going to commit to. So I want you to write this down. Commit to something. A lot of times there are times where you need to make a decision and now you're all over the place. Oh, my friends are gonna think I'm crazy. I just spent $1,200, $5,000, $10,000 because you're pouring into yourself. Get away from those people, okay? Get away from those people. Sometimes you gotta pour back into you instead of just pouring into others all the time. And so that's where I am. I come over to EXP. I made a decision. Y'all write decision in 30 minutes. They said, Claudienne, are you crazy? You've been with the Kai's company for 20 years. They love you. I said, I understand. But lately, the last 2 years, I've been talking about retirement at 40. And that was my goal, to retire at 40. Actually, it was to retire at 35. I wanted to beat everybody that wanted to retire at 40. They asked me to leave. They asked me to stay past 35, and I did. So guess what happened? I started to grow a team. I had a team of 13. I was not, I want to repeat this, I was not intentionally recruiting, but I knew I needed some help. In fact, I didn't even take on everybody in my team. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Jessica, Tanya. So now I didn't take everybody on in my group because I was still highly producing 85 to 105 deals a year. That's a lot for one person to be doing with one admin and one VA. Somebody say I'm on fire, because I was on fire.
You're burning the house down, girl. I love it. Keep going.
And I was on fire. I wanted to see change. So now I get over to EXP. I spent about 2 weeks looking at a bunch of onboarding calls, opportunity calls. And I said, wait a minute. This call is an hour and a half. Nobody's going to stay on an hour and a half call. I don't even want to stay on this hour and a half call. So then I said, okay, wait, my good friend Stormy Wellington is one of the #1 network marketers in the world, not woman, not female, not male person in the world. And I said, wait, this is too easy. I'm a hustler. I'm a go-getter. I have some recruiting skills, I would say. And then my good friend is a #1 network marketer. And how could I bridge this together? So I started looking at different ways to give the opportunity call. And then I committed. If you're with EXP and you have a downline, just drop how many people are in your downline. All right, cool. Now drop how many people are in your first line. Drop how many people are in your first line. All right, good. A lot of people say, well, Claudienne, how did you do it? I committed first. I did the homework. I took pieces and portions and I said, what was most attractive to me in this presentation? That's what I'm going to focus on for 30 minutes. And then I went 30 days straight. Every day at 12 o'clock from 12 to 12:30, I don't care if one person showed. Some days 30 people showed. I did a presentation for 30 minutes. And then a lot of people will even go to a listing appointment, right? They'll meet a buyer and not even ask for the business. It's no nice, beautiful listing, a presentation, and you never ask the seller, well, are you ready to market your property with me, Mr. or Mrs. Seller? Nobody will ask the question. And at the end of each call, I say, if you're ready to get started right now, if you're ready to 10x your life, if you're ready to implement the things that I've learned over the last 20 years, today, click the link right here and schedule your onboarding. Guys, I brought in 80 something agents in my first month. No, my first 6 months of EXP, 33 of them which came the first 30 days. But I was
That's freaking awesome. Yeah.
I had discipline. I still have it. In fact, Crystal, let's go on another run. October. Let's go on another run. October 1st is another run. And then I grew an organization to almost 650 people, guys. But then something happened. I was moving too fast, too soon, too quick. Didn't have enough systems in place. So people were coming in, brokerages were coming in, and they were leaving because I was so focused, hyper-focused on recruiting, then I didn't worry about the retention because I thought people would be like me and figure it out. Then I realized, wait a minute, I'm a true leader. I have to be the leader. I did not call my upline. Y'all think I'm calling Elena Cardone to ask her how to get into Sky Slope? How do you recruit? In fact, I did not even leverage my upline. Hoss Pratt, Lisa Copeland, top 5% in Texas. Excuse me, top 50 of all agents of all companies in Texas. Hoss Pratt, the listing boss, I didn't leverage any of them. I didn't. I wanted to show what I could do first. A lot of times we're knocking on the door of somebody, but you haven't even produced yet. Then I get to EXPCon 4 months after I joined. And I said, man, I'm going to be on that stage. The next time there's a stage like this, I'm going to be on the stage. And they were collecting their awards. They were collecting their awards. And that's all I thought about doing was collecting my award on stage. I had come out of production. I was not in production 2 years prior to me coming to EXP. I wanted to retire and get into coaching. Y'all, I came to EXP and showed out. I did 38 million in my first year. I capped, I grew an organization, and now I'm backstage and I get to meet Mr. Glenn Stanford. And I remember walking up to him and I said, Mr. Glenn Stanford, I'd like to introduce myself. See, I don't wait for others to introduce me because I may never get the opportunity. So type in the chat box, be bold. Be bold. And I remember saying, Mr. Glenn Stanford, my name is Claudienne Hibbert. No, I said, I'd like to introduce myself to you. He said to me, no need. I know who you are. You're Claudienne Hibbert. I said, wow. He said, you have been the fastest person to grow an organization without bringing in brokerages all at one time. I said, wow. We went on and talked, and that was the end of that. That next stage, I got to introduce and tell that 90-second story. In fact, that was 2 minutes that you just saw. I got to tell that story on the main stage at EXP Con in Orlando. Some of you got to be bold. Where do you want to be? My organization will reach 1,000 people by the end of December 2025. I've not lost hope. I'm not looking at LPT. I'm not looking at the people who are trying to do what we've already done. I'm going to water the grass where I am. I'm going to see how I can contribute to different groups in the workplace app. I'm going to invite people to my free Zoom every morning at 9 to 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for free. I don't care what company they're at. We don't discuss EXP. We discuss real estate wins. Now, watch this, because I know all of you are EXP. I soft recruit. Where's Teska? Teska, can you unmute really quickly? How long did you attend my 9 a.m. sessions before you said yes to EXP?
It was a couple of months. It was maybe like 3-4 months, I guess.
We thought she was a part of EXP. She had been on there so long. And then I finally asked, I saw her one day, I was like, what company are you with? She told me, but I could tell you something. I knew that the company she was with was not hosting a 9 a.m. call. I knew that they were not doing Wednesday nights training every 7 p.m. Am I exhausted? Yeah, I'm exhausted. But I know I have to show up for my team, right? Show up for the team. See, they'll tell you, oh, I'm the person that got you into EXP. You're on your own. We don't do our organization like that. We provide them with value. Ooh. We reach out to people like Pace Morby, the sub 2. So now we bring all these people into a space and now they're educated. Thank you for that, Teska. The people are watching you. They're watching every move. So you got to come over here, guys. You got to decide, what is it that I want to do? Everybody doesn't want to recruit. I get it. That's fine. Okay, what do you want to produce? Do you want to hit 40 million this year? Do you want to hit 50 million this year? Do you want to hit 80? I know what my ultimate goal is. Watch this, Crystal. What is my, watch this. How much money do I want to make a month in EXP?
$1 million a month.
They know it because I always say it. I see that people have already done it. Maybe it's 2 or 3, but is that proof that it can be done? Is it proof that I could be number 4? See, some of y'all are going to think, oh, they're at the top. They already hit the wave. Life is going to happen. I don't know if it's another COVID. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to happen. And people are going to realize I need to be with a sustainable company. Guys, brokerages are going to be closing down. They're already closing their doors. Why allow them to close when they can come over to EXP? And now we have a new boost program where we get to compensate them. So guess what? I didn't know enough about the boost program. So I called the meeting. I called Glenn Stanford and I said, Glenn, how do we find out more about this opportunity? He said, Claudienne, the best person is either Leo or Amy Weaver. I love Amy. Amy onboarded me. And when she was moving over, I said, Amy, I don't care where they move you in this company. I'm always calling you. It's called the Boost program. The Boost program. Chris, I don't know if we have a link of what that deck looks like, the Boost program. If you have it, drop it. If not, no big deal. So I called Crystal. Crystal is actually in my downline. Crystal joined me early in my business. Crystal brought on a team member that had like 10 agents. But they also left the company and Crystal was a little deflated. She was about to leave. And I said, wait a minute. What is she good at doing? See, one of the questions that I ask when I talk to agents that are coming in is, what are they good at doing? What are your goals? And Crystal shared with me that she had been working for a real estate brokerage prior to, and she was coordinating systems and trainings and growing the company. So I said, wait a minute, don't leave. I can hire you part-time so you can help me with onboarding. And we'll recruit in your area and all those people will go to you. Now, Crystal's on my front line. If you knew anything about the rev share, you know on lines 2 and 7, you make the most money. She's doing the work anyway. Man, you've got to see one of her calls. I'm very confident that I do not need to be on an onboarding call with Crystal. She could be just finished working out. She's going to throw on that jacket, pop that hair up, put on a little lipstick. You can't even tell she just went running. She's going to come ready every time. And then she's going to nurture the people who in your downline can support you. And you provide some reciprocation. So Crystal's dropping all of our links because if you want to bring anybody to the launch call and get them to come in, you could put them there. Now, in that launch1000.com link, I'll pop on it so you can see what it looks like. Oh, they changed it. Let's look at it. This is going to be my first time seeing it too. We just changed it. Boom. So Crystal says to me, Claudienne, all these extra steps because we had a form that was really pretty. And then they got to get the Zoom link. And then the Zoom link, it was too much. So she just came up with this last week. Are you a realtor? If so, what company are you with? What state are you licensed in? And how did you hear about the session? Why did I add that? Because if you invite somebody to the call, it is only right that that person goes and sign up under you. We have to lead with integrity. Guys, you could duplicate that. You really can. Am I teaching anything right now?
Absolutely. This is awesome.
And I'm training y'all, but I'm glad I invited them because now Crystal gets to take notes. Crystal, I definitely want to do a link where they just get a video playback, a webinar. So if I'm not available and they're in dire need for Wednesday, guess what? There's the video. They'll hear all about the stock awards. They'll hear about capping. We'll draw some examples on the whiteboard. Watch this. Hannah is in Oklahoma. Hannah, can you unmute?
Yes.
How did you find me, Hannah?
I watched you on a Grant Cardone thing.
Remember I told y'all he invited me to be on his real estate show? I'm no fool. I knew I would reach people like Hannah. It wasn't about me being on the Grant Cardone show. It was about me getting some people attracted to me while I was on that Zoom. Thousands of people were there. It was like a 5-day, Ryan Serhant was on there, I think. Like people I had never seen before. I don't watch TV. HGT people was on there, GTV, all those people was on there. And then I was unique because I was the only female and I was only the Black person on the panel. And I was also the only female on the panel. Y'all didn't think I did graphics. I did my own graphics. You think I waited for Grant's team to do graphics for me? You sleep. I don't wait on those people. They did them, but they did them too late. And I needed to let my community know this little Black girl is going to be on Grant Zoom. And I'm 45, by the way. Okay. So now they come and find me. I didn't put 80 some ages in the system. Well, first of all, I put 33 ages in the first 30 days. And I could be all over the place. I'm gonna bring it back to where I thought I'd probably shifted. And then they said, who is that girl? What is she doing? I said, I just launched for 30 days. 30-minute call every day. People click the link, registered. I got their name, phone number, and email. Name, phone number, and email. What company are you currently with? How long have you been in real estate? And every day I would text those people from my cell phone. I was not using it. I have a text app. But would you guys agree that it feels different when Claudienne's texting you directly? Exactly. All right. So now it's Christmas time. And I do 5 days of Christmas. Can't make this up. I start with Elena Cardone and myself. I get bold. Y'all right, get bold again. I text Glenn Sanford. I said, Glenn, can you do an opportunity call for me? I didn't know if he was going to say yes or no or to refer me to somebody else. He said, absolutely. I'm available on Wednesday at 7 p.m. I've been training every day, every week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. since I got into EXP. This was very early on. And I text Glenn and Glenn said, absolutely. It's not like I'm shivering. I'm like calling my people. I'm like, you got to get people on here. Glenn Sanford cannot get on this call. And I got 50 people. I need the Zoom lit. And if you don't know what lit means, I need it on fire. But I'm calling. I'm saying, I need your commitment. Can you be on this call? Can you be on this call? Can you be on this call? Then I have Sharon Lecter. Ooh, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, co-author. She's not even in my downline and I'm not in hers. I leverage Lisa Copeland, who's my upline, that she's in Lisa Copeland's first line. I went to an event, I introduced myself to her. I did not wait on Lisa to introduce me. In fact, Lisa was like, how did you get Sharon? I said, I just reached out to her because I was already in the environment. Sharon knew that I was somebody of something because I was in Lisa and Elena Cardone's environment. Maybe you don't have that environment, but you have an environment. Maybe not those people, but whose environment do you belong in? Can y'all imagine Claudienne Hibbert-Smith with Sharon Lecter? And then the next day, it was like 5 days. Then I had, I inboxed him to death. What was his name? Tariq El Musa. I can't make this up, y'all. Let me show y'all. I have to show you this. I never deleted it. Oh my goodness. I think I have to log out. This isn't my Instagram page. Okay, yeah, this is not my Instagram page. So I have to log out. But I want to, I tell you what, for the sake of time, I'll show you here. Tariq El Musa. Y'all know who Tariq El Musa is, right? All right. I did it. I know him now, though. So I inboxed Tariq El Musa. Okay, here we go. Boom. Oh, I had all kinds of people on this flyer. Serve. All right, hold on. I am actually on the EXP corporate presentation. I never knew that because we don't use the presentation. But I'm there, Crystal, we should put that somewhere there. I'm always tagging Tariq. I don't excessively tag him, but I'll tag him if it's something that we're doing. But I want y'all to see the first message I ever sent this guy. Ah, 2021, here we go. Hey, Tariq, I'm short of 90 days with EXP, was at another camp. Oh, I should have reread this. Was at another something for 20, another company is what I'm trying to say, for 20 years, about to retire at 41, but EXP presented itself. I've now 53 people in less than 90 days. So that was a stat at the time. I would love to do a 30-minute Zoom presentation with you. He sends me a video after I do that like 4 or 5 seconds. Some of y'all would have gave up. Some of y'all would have gave up, but I knew how busy he could be. I mean, he is on national TV. He finally sends me a video and says, Claudienne, oh my God, I rarely check my inbox. Now, I could have reached out to Lisa. Lisa could connect me, all that stuff, but I didn't. He says, email my assistant and get on the schedule. I did that. He's done several of my calls. Well, now Brent Gove is making over $1 million. Why wouldn't I call Brent Gove? Why? Because he's not in my rev share? That's silly. He has stock. If I do good, he does good. Maybe not in one line of, maybe I don't directly affect him over here in the downline. Oh, but I'm definitely going to affect the stock. And if I do well, if you guys do well, guess what our stocks do? So I reach out to Brent Gove. In fact, I saw him at a 10X event and I said, hey, Brent, my name's Claudienne. I'm in Elena's. I'm actually I am her top producer. 5 seconds. He doesn't have a capacity for me to tell him my whole life. That story I just shared with you on 10X stage is too long for somebody like Brent Gove. You got to get in and get out. My name's Claudienne Hibbert, new to EXP, been able to grow my rev share. I'm the #1 agent in Elena Cardone's downline. I'd love to do some stuff with you. Absolutely, sure. All right, can I have your phone number? I'm not going to rely on if he's looking at his DMs. I don't know if he's doing it or somebody else is doing it. I know he's taking his phone calls. He gives me his phone call. Now I can now call Brent when I need to call Brent. Does that make sense? Brent Gove. See, don't be afraid, guys, to reach out to people. We're always texting. Ha ha ha, I love it. I want to mimic and model people that have already done where I want to go. I need a shortcut version. Then he comes and does a 7 p.m. Wednesday. He comes and does the Zoom. And I'm looking at his videos on YouTube. I was like, you're making $1 million with those videos? All I got to do is get started. And they weren't current videos. It was when he got started many years ago. But if he did not get started, it doesn't matter what the videos look like. If he had no content, nobody would have been driven to him. Nobody would have been driven to him. So get started. Get started. What is your financial goal? I'm nowhere near making $1 million a month, y'all. But I'm gonna act like it. In EXP, my goal is to make $1 million a month. I mean, are you okay with an extra $5,000 a month in the rev share? All right, great. So now I get with Crystal and I'm like, Crystal, I think we're doing something wrong here. I love the onesie agents. That's great. We'll take them. We'll train them up. But we need to start going after brokerages. I remember when 2007 and 8 hit, how many businesses, how many brokerages, brick and mortar, went out of business. There was no EXP to come save them. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I knew I would do well over here. But the extra stock and MLM growth, and this is not an MLM, I understand, but the growth, I was like, this is a no-brainer. Then I get to be in a 10X realm. I just spoke to Elena this morning. So we're not even business partners anymore, we're friends. I go to their house. Why? Look, this is just this morning. I love this. I don't talk to her every day. I didn't talk to her in 3 weeks. I'm like, hey, you all right? Checking on you, friend. She says, I've been out of town. I just got back yesterday. And she tells me what she's about to do with her kids. They're about to go to the fashion walk show in Paris. I want to do that one day. I got to go to work. That's inspiring for me. What inspires you? Don't set a target. Everybody on the Zoom right now, just drop. I don't care if you're on here or your camera's off. You've got to be listening. So now drop how much money you want to make here in 2025. How much money do you want to make for the whole year? Hey, Canoe. Is it Canoe? Canoe? Kinu?
Hey, I'm sorry, my phone's a little broken, so I struggle to click the buttons.
Right. You want to make $1 million a year? You want to make 10 million for the year, 1 million for the whole year? Now we're going to reverse engineer. What does that look like on a monthly basis? Divide that number by 12. I'm just going to make this number up to $60,000 a month. Let's reverse engineer some more. How many people do I need to talk to get to that number? You are not talking to 5 people for the month and making 60,000. Sorry, it's not enough people. It's not enough people. Now, I'm going to give y'all an assignment because it's 11:44. How long is this call for? 1 hour?
We're here till noon.
All right. So, Crystal, do you have the pledge handy?
Get it for us. Be right back.
Okay. All right, cool. So we're going to take a minute and we're going to actually do an assignment. It's the end of the year. It's the last quarter. And I'm a girl of implementation. I'm going to do it too. And it's a pledge. I was getting my hair done. Anybody knows me. I hate going to the hairdresser. I hate going to the nail shop. That's just not my thing. So now I'm in the hairdresser. Now I'm bored. I'm like, well, what can I do? I make up this pledge. I'm like, I'm going to start sending pledges out. I need some more clients. I want to hit 100 this year. I'm going to look for the pledge too.
It's in the chat.
Okay, cool.
Gotcha.
Thank you. So now you're going to do this right now, y'all. And you're going to address the person by their name. You're going to say, hey, Kelly, I want to just take a moment to say thank you for all of your support. I wish you continued prosperity in 2024. I would love for you to consider sending me some referrals. Some of y'all don't even ask y'all friends for referrals. And then you say, oh, I don't have money for marketing. Well, you're already paying for the phone. Just call the people in your phone. Why don't you just start there? I have 6,000 people in this phone. I'm going to make a commitment for the next 30 days. I'm going to reach out to at least 10 people a day for the next 30 days until I can get through. And then sometimes I get my ADD kick in and I think I'm never going to finish. So now I trick myself. I said, I'm not going to start at B because I finished at B. I'm going to start at Z. And I'm getting through all the Z's. And then when I get bored again, I said, no, you know what? I'm just going to do N's today. The people whose names start with an N, I'll do them today. Y'all, you got to be innovative. I talked about pivoting this morning. So I want you to take a minute and send that to 5 people right now. I probably really should have did this in the beginning. I didn't think about it. Look, my goal is, I'm telling them, I know you're going to run into at least 10 people this year that want to buy or sell or purchase commercial. Now, if you don't do commercial, that's okay. Can you partner with somebody that does commercial? And make 25, Crystal here gets 40% referral fees. I don't know how she does it. I've seen it, so I know it can be done. I don't want nobody sending me no 40% referral. But listen, the girl's doing it. I'm not gonna knock her hustle. And y'all, she works from home all day. She does not show a house. And then I tell them, please pick a pledge. Now, do you think they're gonna look at that and ignore you, or they're gonna pick a pledge? They're gonna pick a pledge. Well, there, look at Paul. There you a good referral right there. I don't leave commercial business out. And I do commercial. But if I didn't do commercial, don't be sleep. Partner. Refer. Hey, my partner, Paul, and I'm going to call Paul first. And I'm going to say, Paul, I'm going to see this client. We're partners in the deal. I'm not really a partner in the deal. I'm a referral agent. But what does it sound better like? He's my partner or referral agent? He's my partner. I don't care what they think. He's my partner. I don't even know Paul. I don't know what Paul looked like. But I know Paul produces and he takes his clients to closing from beginning to end. That's all I need to know. And then I tell Kelly, Kelly's my buyer. Hey, Kelly, I'm going to be introducing you to my partner, Paul. This is his specialty, commercial. He's going to take care of you. Every now and then I'm going to pop in and check in. But I'm going to let Paul do his thing. And I love the XP because they just wire you your money the same day of closing or the next day. Like you don't even have to send a check. Is this making sense to y'all? Who has your money? And then I used to have this thing when I was younger. Oh, I don't want to reach out to, I don't want to reach out to doctor so-and-so or dentist so-and-so. Wait a minute, I'm paying them every time I go to the dentist and the doctor. They should be using my services. And I'll skip the attorneys in my phone. All the people that I think of major significance, I just, no, I'm just a little girl. This is when I was younger. I don't do that anymore. I haven't done it in a long time. Limited thinking had me thinking that I was not good enough for their business. But then when I got smart, I said, wait a minute. I see the doctor at least one time a year, at least minimum. All these, I broke a foot, had to go to the podiatrist. I can't see no more. I got to go to the eye doctor. And I would send them magazines from American Lifestyle. And it would sit in their doctor's office right on the coffee table. Who has your money? has anybody sent, drop a number 5 if you sent the pledge out. Drop a number 5 if you sent the pledge out. Y'all ain't sent the pledge out? Y'all sleep. I thought y'all was up at this time. I knew my team would do it. They're smart. They already know what happens when we do that. So guess what I'm gonna do? Can I be transparent with y'all? A lot of y'all don't look like me on here. I just filmed all of y'all and y'all going in my stories. Y'all create validity for me. Not for me, but for the people who follow me. Be very clear. They're gonna be like, Claudienne training all those people that don't look like her. I'll just tell you how people think. So it's gonna maximize. Why y'all think I tell y'all turn your cameras on? Hello. And I'm gonna write on there. I'm so happy to spend 1 hour coaching a freedom team. They're gonna be like, what I missed. I'm not gonna put no sound because they can't hear. Look, you see my camera? I'm doing it again. It's gonna go right on my Instagram. And I'm gonna drop my link to come join my Realtor Tools for Success class, which is Wednesday. It's free. Soft recruiting. Soft recruiting. Y'all heard Teska say she was on my trainings for 3 months before she finally said, I want to be a part of that team. They are watching you, but if you don't give them nothing to watch, I would say you sleep. Okay. Anybody send the pledge out yet? So remind me at 11:58 to go back to the pledges. I want to see who got a response. Okay. I want to see who got a response. All right, let's open up for Q&A.
Could you spend just a minute and talk about how Elena recruited you? Because I'm always interested in people's inbound story.
Okay, so I went to a 10X conference. I spent $10,000 a year on a ticket. So I sat on the second row. Nobody looked like us in the entire conference. So we were very like unique people at the conference. And we had access. My girlfriend and I, Stormy Wellington, knew what we were going to do. We literally said we're going to meet 3 to 5 people that we don't know right now. When it was time for lunch, I didn't sit at her table and she just sit at mine. We divided and we conquered. And she's in a whole different business. I introduced myself to Elena. Hi, Elena, how are you? I didn't even know she was a realtor. That was it. I introduced myself. We talked a little bit. We went on about our way. Well, somebody must have said, Elena, that's somebody you might want to recruit. I did not know this at the time. So she got Grant. Jared is Grant's right-hand man to call me and say, I want her on the next real estate show. And he did it. Now, Grant doesn't know who I am. He doesn't, like, he knows nothing. Elena's just trying to grow her rev share. Okay. Elena is new at real estate. I did not focus on the fact that she was new at real estate. I knew that they were marketing geniuses. If I get one more email from Grant office, I'm a scream. If I get one more phone call from over there, I'm a scream. So, but I knew that they were marketing geniuses. And I knew that was a piece that I needed. Y'all know y'all could get the ingredients to eat, like the foundation of something and apply it to anything. I can go sell cars if I wanted to and be number 1. I could. It's the same how who has my money, call people, see how they're doing with their cars, make sure you have an event at the dealership, invite your past customers. I want to be on their radar. So I now became on her radar by a person that knew both me and Elena. And remember, I said I didn't say no to that show. I got on the show. Well, after the show, Elena texted me and says, hey, we'd love for you to join. Nope, she didn't even text me. The person, the mutual friend, I didn't even know the mutual friend that well. She wasn't even a friend. I just knew her. She said, I want you to get on this Zoom with Elena and Lisa. And I'm not gonna lie. I was like, when they said, oh, the average agent does 5 to 7, I never knew that stat. As long as I've been in real estate, I never knew that the average agent does 5 to 7 homes a year. I was like, this is not the call. In the chat box to Elena Cardone, it was not a private message. I wrote this. This is a low frequency number. How are people living? All I did was real estate. This was not a part-time job for me. She said, no, Claudienne, you're a 10Xer. This is what she wrote back. You're a 10Xer, but for the masses here, and they were doing this. They were doing the rev share. Let me show you what we pull up. I hope I can remember the code. Oh, it's there. So watch it. This is what she pulled up. So she's like, the average price is 300 if it was 350 at the time. Enter the average units. Like, what do you guys think the average units of home? Somebody said 5 to 7. I was like, oh no, this is not the call. And then they said the average commission was 2%. I said, where? I charge 7% on listings. Even today, I just charged 7% 2 days ago to a seller. I don't care what's going on with NAR. That's their problem. I know my worth. And I'll put a little bug in your ear for listings to help me to remind me. So then I put 3% average commissions. How many people you could bring in? Okay, Claudienne, I could do 30. This is for the year. And then I go in and say, well, let's just say you don't have a Claudienne on your team, but you just bring 2 people. 2 people, bring 3 people. All right, let's not even fill out the 7th level. You mean I could potentially be making $5 million a year if these people did an average transaction at $350,000, which is very possible, only sell 5 homes at 3% commission. Sign me up today. Exactly what I said. And that's how that happened. Tim, that's how it happened. I was in the right room at the right time. Someone saw me communicating to Elena. They knew that she had become a realtor. They knew that I was a realtor for 20 plus years. And that's how that happened. But you got to be in the right rooms. I was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And other people had recruited me to EXP, but I understood what my upline needed to look like. And I want to help. I want to support. I want to help. I wanted to eventually leverage them. Now I leverage other people too. That's not in my direct. Those people making millions of dollars a month, they don't mind. They where they need to be.
Absolutely. Great story.
Yep. Any more questions for me?
I would ask how you leverage your team. How do you work with your team to help them either have the motivation you have or find the ones that want to lean into that?
You know what? I think everybody's not going to be a Claudienne, and I'm realizing that. There are some people that are going to be very transactional, which we need. So that's good. So I think understanding what that person is good at. Crystal's still here because I understood what she was good at. And I said, well, maybe she's not the person that needs to be in the field. Maybe she needs to work on systems but by her doing that, I still help her because I have influence. And I have people in Jersey and New York in my downline. And they're not by way of Crystal. So you have to understand the needs of every agent, which could be a lot. But if I went in and got brokerages, what do you guys think? You think those brokerages are going to need me? They don't need me to teach contracts. They've been doing it already. Does that make sense? So they're going to go and do what I did. Now, I do host a Wake Up and Win every morning. We survey. Crystal and I will say, okay, wait, we're starting to lose too many people. Let's go back and call the people. Hey, how can we help better serve you? What are some strengths that we're doing? What are some weaknesses that we have? How can we fill in the gaps? I just reignited my team. Some people need hand-holding. Okay. So you just gotta identify who's good at what and then lean into, like, I don't want to make somebody cold call if they're just not good at that. If their posture is not good on the phone, the truth is that they probably will never do well on the phone cold calling. It takes a special person to do that. And while you can learn it, sometimes it's just not as good. And I wholeheartedly believe that.
Love what you're doing. Paul, you had your hand up. Go ahead, sir. And then we'll be at the 58-minute mark. You wanted to be reminded of that. And there was another thing you wanted to be reminded of, and I can't remember what it was now.
It's a listing. I'll remember.
Listings.
Check the pledge. Yeah. Check the pledge in a minute. Claudienne, you are spot on. I love your energy. I love what you're doing. One of the things you talked about is the retention. You know, there's so much in EXP that if any of us knew everything that was going on, our head would explode. But there's always a place to plug into. We just had a commercial IRL in real life meeting, mastermind in Nashville. We had about 50, 60 agents. We had Sean Murphy from corporate was here. You know, #1 guy in commercial, #2 person in commercial, you know, was here learning about things that are going on. If you guys have agents all over the country, and Realty might be a little bit off kilter these days with NAR and all that, you know, tell them, go to one of these meetings, meet people, get in the right room, you said, Claudienne. You know, get in the right room, meet people, get some referrals going with commercial people. So it may not be their forte, maybe they're not even thinking commercial, but it can bring dollars and money to their pocket. So we thank you for this. You're great, and I appreciate the Tim doing this today with you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Anybody got any responses? Any responses back?
To Paul or to what?
To the pledge.
Oh, responses to the pledge. Gotcha.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
All right, cool. Maybe we started a little bit late on the pledge, but I wanted to just say this. You know, with this whole NAR thing going on and the buyer's commission and all that stuff, listen, there are ways to strategize. I went on a listing appointment the other day, 3 days ago, Thursday or Friday, one of those days, and I was able to call the agents in the surrounding area. I just learned to do this. I was able to call agents in the surrounding area to see who was offering what, and I leveraged that. And so now I was able to tell the seller, well, let's pay a commission to the buyer's agent. Why? Because your goal is to do what, Mr. and Mrs. Seller? Sell the property within how many? Okay, great. Well, guess what? These other 6 listings are not offering commission. So that's a bonus. We'll be able to promote that. We can't put it on the MLS, it's fine, but we can promote it and bring more buyers and buyers agents to the property. Guys, I was able to get the listing at 7%. Okay, just by calling the other 6 agents in the area to just see, hey, are you guys offering any commissions to the buyer's agent on? No, okay, thank you. No, thank you. I think there was 1 yes. So now I'm able to bring stats to the table and turn it into a positive. Okay.
Toy, did you have a question?
I think she answered it. She sent the trueteamhuddle.com. That's where we get on the class with you.
Yeah, it's just an open forum. We talk about wins, 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, I would love to plug in with you.
Excellent.
Thanks for sharing that. One of the earlier questions in the chat was about the EXP Explain presentation that you used. Do you have something canned, recorded, anything that kind of summarizes what you're doing live?
Crystal, do we have one? I'm sure we have several. We record them. I'll tell you what. I'll do this. I'm going to drop my YouTube link on here, guys. And you'll be able to see some of my earlier EXP Explains. Hold on. Let me see if I can just find you the direct link. How about this? I'll just drop my link here for the sake of time. And you'll be able to see, and it'll share it with you. It'll say this is an opportunity call, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll drop that link so you guys can just kind of go through and see.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're beyond the top of the hour. Any final question? I want to be respectful for your time, of course. Any final question before we wrap up? All right, Claudienne.
Is there a way that we could get that code to the calculator?
That's an internal calculator, so we don't share that. EXP would kill us.
Yeah, a lot's changed since that was written too, so that's okay with the right disclaimer.
Right.
And we have one on the Freedom team that was done years ago as well. But I don't use it much anymore. It's got to be the right candidate just to show the maybe to, the probability to. But again, Claudienne, we're blessed. Thank you so much. You clearly are going to crush it. I have no doubt you're going to accomplish that 2025 goal. I appreciate you sharing with us. And remember, everybody, we've got pro level negotiation tomorrow, same time, same link. Hope to see you all there for our Tuesday mastermind. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you.